So, BTS is back with their new single, Swim, and it's not just a song, it's a global tidal wave. We're talking over 80 million views in just a couple of days. So, what's the secret sauce here? Let's break down the strategy behind this absolute juggernaut. And just so we're crystal clear on what number one means here, we are not talking about some niche fan-voted chart. Swim is the number one song in America. Period. Right, so this is the big question, isn't it? How does a group from South Korea conquer the biggest music market on the planet for the seventh time? This was not luck. It was a perfectly executed plan. And we're about to pull back the curtain on exactly how they did it. To really get the scale of this thing, you gotta look at the numbers. And these aren't just fan-driven stats. This is a mainstream American success story. And all the proof is right there in the data. Okay, just look at this breakdown. This is how they did it. A staggering 154,000 in pure sales, which is insane in the streaming era. Then you've got a really solid 15.3 million official streams. But here's the real kicker for success in the US. 25.8 million impressions on American radio. They didn't just win in one category. They dominated across the entire board. And look, this isn't some flash in the pan. Swim is BTS's seventh number one hit on the Hot 100. They have built an absolute dynasty on what is arguably the most competitive music chart in the world. And the dominance didn't just stop with the single. Nope. The full album ARIRANG also debuted at number one on the Billboard 200. This was a complete and total conquest of the charts, from top to bottom. So yeah, the numbers are crazy. But what was the engine driving all of that? Let's talk about the music video, because this was less of a K-pop video and more of a full-blown Hollywood event. I mean, just look at the A-list team they brought in for this. Tanu Muino, the director behind massive hits for artists like Dua Lipa. They brought in a recognizable Hollywood actress, Lili Reinhart. They filmed this epic ocean scene in Lisbon. Every single piece was calculated to appeal to a Western audience, with these universal themes of empowerment and freedom. And that theme, this woman finding her freedom, guided by these powerful helpers, that is not an accident. It's a direct nod to familiar American pop culture stories. It gives off those Little Mermaid vibes that make it instantly relatable and super shareable. It's just genius. So, did it work? Yeah. The velocity here is just nuts. 5 million views in the first hour, 10 million in 4 hours, 30 million in less than a single day, and now it's just soaring past 80 million. This is what it looks like when something truly goes viral in real time. But here's the thing. This massive explosion wasn't just because of a great song and a slick video. To really get it, you have to understand the 4 years of anticipation that led up to this moment. See, in the K-pop world, there's this incredible phenomenon called comeback power. It's this absolutely massive surge of energy and media attention that happens when a group returns after being away for a long time. And for BTS, after completing their mandatory military service, this was the comeback of all comebacks. I mean, really let that sink in for a second. 4 years. In the world of pop music, that's practically a lifetime. That long wait created a level of pent-up demand and media hype that most artists can only dream of. The fans weren't just ready, they were absolutely starving for new music. Okay, so we've got a hit song tailor-made for the US, a blockbuster video, and 4 years of pent-up fan demand. Now, let's put all the pieces together and really look at the formula, the machine behind all the magic. It really breaks down into a 4-step playbook. A masterclass, really. First, you build almost half a decade of anticipation. Second, you launch a visual that feels completely at home in the American market. Third, you activate one of the most organized and passionate fan bases on the planet. And finally, you push that content across every single platform that matters in the US. And you want to see how far their influence goes beyond just Spotify and YouTube? Check out this number. The buzz around their concert film led to a 347% spike in Netflix app installs. That's the kind of crossover power we're talking about. This, right here, this gives you the full picture of their multi-platform attack. They were number one trending on YouTube, obviously, but they also pulled over 100 million streams on Spotify in a single week. Fan edits on TikTok took their reach to a whole other level, and crucially, they secured that massive US radio push. It was a coordinated, all-out blitz across digital and traditional media. So when you look at it all, this wasn't just a song drop. It was a multi-year, multi-platform global campaign. And it leaves you with a really big question, right? Is this meticulous, Hollywood-integrated, fan-powered approach the new blueprint for any artist who wants to achieve true global domination? Or is it something only a group like BTS can really pull off?